Hey, good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Tim Pandajis. Just want to get on here and give you an update to our watches that were in place have now all been upgraded to warnings. Those are hard freeze warnings and wind chill warnings for the entirety of our viewing area here in southeast Texas. Now, what does that mean? The forecast has not changed. However, the timeline is getting closer. So as we approach the event, watches get upgraded to warnings, meaning that the forecasted values, really cold wind chills, really cold air temperatures, are now expected. So we'll start with the hard freeze warning here. What that means is that temperatures are now expected to drop to or below 24 degrees for at least 2 hours worth of time throughout the entire area. This goes into effect tomorrow evening, lasts all the way through noon on Saturday, and that's looking to be about the time frame that we expect temperatures to remain below freezing, so close to 40 hours below 32 degrees through most of the area. Now, wind chill warnings. Those were watches earlier. They've now been upgraded to warnings. This is at 6 p.m. tomorrow right through noon on Friday, and that's for winds to be gusting to 30 to 35 miles per hour. When you've got air temperatures in the teens, that wind makes it feel even colder in unexposed skin. So those those values could get down to near zero or maybe even below zero at times with some of the strongest gusts. The coldest will likely be early Friday morning around sunrise or so. And it's not just us here in southeast Texas. In fact, most of Texas is under some sort of cold weather alert. And it's not only Texas either. It's a good chunk of the United States. Look at the sprawling distance you have to go to find an area that's not under a cold weather alert. We've got wind chill warnings all the way up to the Canadian border, stretching down to the Gulf Coast, all the way to the Rockies, and even getting closer to the East Coast up along the Appalachian spine right now as well. These are all warnings for cold, cold weather ahead as an Arctic outbreak really starts to pour south from Canada. Here's where the cold air is now, up into the Dakotas. You know, not really unheard of there, right? Temperatures get cold all the time. It's 11 below at Rapid City, 12 below at Bismarck, 14 below at Billings. But all that cold air, although it will moderate some, will flood south and eventually get all the way to the Gulf Coast within the next 24 to 36 hours. So timing on this here in southeast Texas, the arrival of the front is early tomorrow afternoon. So we're about 24 hours out from it arriving in our area tomorrow. I think we're below freezing by sunset, which is when all the wind chill warnings and hard freeze warnings go into effect around 6 o'clock. Temperatures at their lowest are going to get down into the teens, mid-teens north of I-10, upper teens, low 20s south of it for Friday morning. But then we'll do it again on Saturday morning as well. We just won't have the wind as much of an issue Saturday morning. But with the wind on Friday morning, 30 to 40 miles per hour, those wind chills single digits and at times close to zero, maybe even below zero in some locations. So here's the timing on it with Future Track. By this evening at 8 o'clock, we've got the leading edge of the Arctic air moving into Kansas and Oklahoma. By tomorrow morning, it makes its way into North Texas. At that point in time, by 10:30, we're already in the teens at Lubbock, 28 Dallas, down to single digits in Oklahoma City. We're going to squeeze out one last bit of mild weather through early afternoon tomorrow. Watch temperatures bump into the mid-60s briefly before the front crashes through, and temperatures with a wind shift will fall dramatically. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. We get a temperature drop of 20, 25, 30 degrees in an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours. That is a significant drop going from the mid-60s to mid-30s in a short amount of time. And it just gets colder from there. We'll end up in the teens, as you saw, and then add in the wind chills that'll make it feel like 4 degrees at Houston by 8 a.m. on Friday, below zero at Oklahoma City. Look at Chicago. You got travel plans. It's a holiday week. Up to Chicago, it'll feel like 28 below by the time the sun comes up on Friday. Here's a close-up look of what the front looks like barreling through our portion of Texas. By 5 p.m. on Thursday, that cold air reaches the coast. We're down at 43 at Pearland, 37 Tomball, already below freezing at College Station, Huntsville. Fast forward to 7 o'clock, we're right around the freezing mark in and around the Beltway, 33 at Sugar Land, in the 20s already, Brenham to College Station in Huntsville. Overnight Thursday into Friday, it gets even colder, temperatures falling through the 20s, eventually bottoming out in the mid to upper teens. And then you've got to factor in the winds that at this point in time, too, will be quite gusty. You look at some of these gusts out here by 6 p.m. Thursday, up and over 30 miles per hour. It stays blustery overnight as that cold air pours on in. The cold air being transported from the north to the south, and that'll make it feel like these temperatures in the 20s. Let me go back there and show you what this looks like in terms of our overall wind chill pattern here. Let me back it up a little bit. Let's see. Now we'll keep it at that, but we're going to make it feel like it's down in the single digits by even 4 p.m. with wind still breezy. it'll feel like it's in the teens still, even in the middle of the day. So that's how cold this air mass is building on in. The big question, though, is how long is this going to last? I don't think we're just in for one night of a hard freeze. I think we're in for 3. It's going to be Thursday night into Friday night into Saturday, and Saturday night into Christmas morning that will get our temperatures to that threshold in the mid-20s or below for a sustained amount of time. So plants need to stay covered for several days. We'll likely go through a period of about 40 hours or so that temperatures don't get above freezing, and overnight lows don't safely fall to above freezing until we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we get closer to where we should be at the end of December, which is overnight lows in the mid-40s. So what does that mean? How does our Christmas weekend spell out? Christmas Eve on Saturday, 19 will be the low in the morning. Still a little bit on the breezy side, so wind chill values likely in the low teens. 38 in the afternoon, but notice plenty of sunshine. No issues there. Christmas Day on Sunday, 23 in morning low, 46 degrees for the high, so getting above that freezing mark, thawing out a little bit. Now that 23 degrees is kind of significant because if we do hit that and that does verify, we fall right in here, the 3rd coldest Christmas on record at Houston, falling just behind 1989. So the coldest Christmas likely in over 30 years here in the Houston area. Again, it comes in tomorrow afternoon, about 24 hours from now, and temperatures drop fast. So if you've got those cold weather preps, you're in the middle of doing them, make sure you get those wrapped up by late tonight, or even tomorrow morning you have a small window to get things done. Still cover up plants, cover up vulnerable exposed pipes and things like that. We'll have another update for you coming up with Chief Meteorologist David Paul, Kim Castro, and I later on at 11 News at 4, and also going through 5, 6, and 10 o'clock tonight. We'll see you later.